Houston-born singer, songwriter, and producer CJ Emmons has built a remarkable career working with major artists, becoming the principal singer on Dancing with the Stars for more than a decade, and now returning home with a very personal show. On Friday, December 12th at the Hobby Center, CJ brings his one-man performance, I'm Freaking Talented. I will say we've gone back and forth about where to put the emphasis in that sentence. You'll explain it to us in a minute. It's his journey through a 23-year career in Hollywood, blending storytelling, comedy, and singing. And if you couldn't guess, he's here in the studio with us now. CJ Emmons, welcome.
Thank you so much.
If people want to talk to you and chat with you, 713-440-8870. Celeste has the first question.
Well,
Yes.
okay, I've got to say, one, CJ, I watched your Britain's Got Talent performance.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
Few can do Whitney justice.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh, I think you made her proud. But what I love about your story is that you are the lead singer on Dancing with the Stars.
Sure.
Millions of people hear your voice, but now they're getting to put a face to that incredible
Isn't that cool?
voice. And you're finally going to do it, here in Houston, in your hometown. How does that feel?
It feels like home.
Yeah.
It feels like I've been working all this time to come back home and to do it. It feels like not the end game, but a welcome back. I've been in tears the whole time I've been working on this project, and it feels so good to be home. I was driving down the street and I was looking at old places that I used to frequent, and I went to my old high school yesterday, Willow Ridge High School, class of 2000, shout out. And I just aged myself too.
I know, everyone's doing the math now.
I know. You just aged me too by saying that.
And I remember the hallways and everything smelled the same. And when I got back to the auditorium, which I used to do plays, I just broke down crying. It was so nostalgic, and to have Houston welcome me back as CJ, it's like, okay, God, we did it.
Okay, so tell me, I mentioned this in the intro, how do we put the emphasis on I'm freaking talent? I'm freaking talented.
I'm freaking talented.
We all did our own version, CJ.
Did you guys do your own version?
Yeah,
This morning we were going through it, trying to figure where we put the emphasis.
I'm so glad we're using freaking, because it was called something else. It is I'm freaking talented.
There
So
you
it's a
go.
statement,
It is
a
a
proclamation.
Yes, it is.
Good for you.
I created it because right after pandemic, my phone wasn't ringing, which was a surprise to me. And so, as a creative, I said I have to do something. I have to write something, make something happen, and I'm freaking talented was born. And I just started talking about my life. I just started talking about the things that I've gone through with at that time it was 20 years in LA. And I found a theater in LA to put it up, and for 2.5 years it sold out. And I didn't realize people wanted my story. And they did. And for 2.5 years they sold out. And so I had, I think Suzanne DePass, if you guys recognize that name, she's the one who's bringing the Michael Jackson movie to life. And she saw it and she's like, we're going to do something with this. So, yeah.
So, as Celeste said, you do Whitney proud.
Oh, thank you.
Now, do you, because your voice, you have that range.
Yeah.
But do you have a preference for the type of artist you like to cover? Do you prefer the divas, or do you go? There's a lot of cover there. There's a lot of cover there. We could. Well, Benson Boone covered Adele and was amazing. So there's no rules on this. I'm just wondering what's your preference.
I like to cover the divas. I'm not going to lie. I listen. The voice that I have, I have to cover the. I have to cover the Arethas, the Whitneys, the Patties, the Celines. I have to cover the divas.
But those aren't just divas. Those are big voices and big shoes to fill.
Well, they're divas.
Do you ever feel nervous? Do you ever feel
all the time?
Yeah, talk to us about that.
All the time. I am always nervous. When I step on any stage, my hands are sweating. My anxiety is through the roof. I have to go into breathing exercises. You guys don't get to see any of that, but behind that door, I am like, oh, okay. And then I have those, those questions and doubts in my mind, like, am I good enough? Am I doing the right thing? Is this really who I am? And then I just take all of that and I channel it into the performance.
And you say, I am freaking talented.
I'm freaking talented.
Let me ask you this. I've never asked this question before, and it just came to me in what we've been asking you here. When you know that note is coming, do you know you're going to hit it? Or is it the fact that you don't know until it comes out of your mouth that you got
That's
there?
a good question.
That is a beautiful question.
I've never thought that before,
That's
but
a beautiful
you're talking.
question. I surrender to the song.
Yeah.
So, and for that, for the listeners wondering what does that mean, is that I take myself out of it.
Okay.
And I totally surrender to giving the song what it needs. If I have a doubt in my mind if the note is going to come out, it probably won't. So when I say I surrender, I totally understand what's going on, but I remove myself. I have a very spiritual relationship with anything that I sing.
Yeah.
And if I don't feel that I can deliver it, I don't sing it.
Yeah.
And so with a song like I Will Always Love You, I literally I go in. Yeah.
I was going to ask you, is there one song out there that has escaped you that you want to sing it and you keep trying and it's escaping
Or haven't
you?
found your voice within it?
Could always go an octave lower and sing it probably, but
Oh, shame on you. Shame on you.
Frank, leave the room.
no, there's nothing.
Really?
No.
Well, we had a YouTube comment from one of our regulars who says, CJ Emmons' voice is butter.
Thank you.
It is.
Thank you for that comment.
It's interesting, CJ, because you say that you have this spiritual relationship with singing and the music, but you've been singing since you were 6 years old.
Yeah.
So when
3. Yes.
3 years old.
Yeah.
So when did you feel that spirituality and that connection to music, or was it
great question.
always there?
It's always been there. I'm one of the only singers in my family. And
Wow.
I didn't grow up with singers at all. No one in my household could sing. My mother would always say, "You took my voice when you came out of me." So
Did they know they couldn't sing, or have they been trying to sing this whole time and you're like, oh, you
well,
don't
let me
sing?
tell you, growing up in a house of people who were trying to sing was something else because, but my grandmother at one time, she laid in bed and she said, we were talking because I was born on her birthday. And so my mother was her only child. And so when I came into the world, I was her son plus her other child. Yeah. And she laid in bed one day and she says, "Can you scat?" And I said, what is that? I think I was like maybe 10 or 11. And she said, I'm going to show you. And she opened her mouth and she, that was the only time I ever heard her sing. She had a voice as big as Mahalia Jackson. Wow. And it filled the entire room. And I looked at her and I said, and she says, "No, go work on that." and that was it. And she would hear me study it and try. And she said, "Nope, you don't have it. Nope, you don't get." But what I learned, my grandmother passed away in 2006. God rest her soul. She's always still with me. Yeah. But her sisters told me that she could sing and that she just wouldn't. And that was the first and only time I heard her sing. But my household, I filled my house with song every chance I got. I used to hang my microphone from my ceiling fan because I used to think I'm going to be in the studio one day and I'm recording this. And my mother told me recently, she said that she would pass by my room and hear me sing certain songs. And she said that when she would hear me hit a note that wasn't right, she says, "Oh, no, he doesn't have. Oh, no, he doesn't have. Up, he got it." And she said she would walk away.
Well, who did the inspiration? Obviously, Grandma was there.
Mm-hmm.
Were there teachers? Were there music teachers? When did you finally say, you know what, I could make a living at this?
Good question. Growing up, there really wasn't inspiration. I went within it because I knew I loved it. I loved to sing. I loved my mother filled the house with music all the time. There was always all kinds of music. So I just loved singing. Whitney Houston was my first, well, let me not say inspired, but Whitney was my first everything. My cousin, Sylvia, rest in peace, she was the one who made me learn my first Whitney Houston song. Yeah. And I remember being in the room. I remember when she cracked open the record. I remember everything about that moment. And when she played the song, and you guys are going to see it and hear it in the production of I'm Freaking Talented, it was, "A few stolen moments is all that we shared." And I remember those first words, and I said, yeah, this is it. So Whitney was my first voice that I ever heard to emulate, to just do. And yeah, Whitney was the first.
Wow.
Yeah.
When you talk about emulating a voice, How much of it is finding who you are,
Sure.
who CJ is in the voice, and how much of it is hearing it and being inspired by the way they present the song?
You know, at church, we had a choir minister who allowed everyone in the choir, if you had a voice or not, to sing. and listen, some of those things were, so he allowed us to find our voices in that.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you this, when you are singing such artists, such great artists as Whitney, as Mariah, you better be on your chops with it, because a lot of people are very familiar with that tone, with that way that those songs were registered and come out. So every now and then you allow a little grace is allowed, like what I did on Britain's Got Talent. And I took a risk because I changed up a bit of it, but it wasn't so much as a distraction. And for Simon to say that, you know, I was the vocal masterclass, it floored me, because that meant I still, you know, stayed true to the integrity of the song.
Yeah. What are the nuts and bolts for the show? We're about out of time.
Yeah.
To this December 12th.
Yep, December 12th, Houston Hobby Center. The Ensemble Theater is also putting it up. I was a part of their YP program.
Yeah.
Oh, shout out to Miss Eileen. December 12th, Houston Hobby. Again, they can get tickets on the website, and tickets are really, really good right now, so go get them.
Yes.
And I'm
CJ,
freaking talented.
thank you so much.
You're more than welcome. More than welcome.
CJ Emmons is a Houston-born singer and songwriter. CJ, thank you so much
Absolutely.
for being here
You
today.
are
How is
freaking
it?
talented.
You
Thank
are
you so much.
freaking amazing.
Come back anytime.
Yeah.